All right, welcome to the inaugural episode of formerly known as the Couch Bros NFL show. This is now the Phin Outta NFL show. And
Yes.
if you know, we're doing
Thirsty?
this live. Firstly, baby. So we are live reacting to the Thursday night football game and whatnot, bro. Matter of fact, I gotta turn this shit off. Give me 1 second here. Y'all
Yes,
not supposed to be
sir.
hearing that music. Wait a minute. But yeah, bro. So Rob, what's up, baby?
Man, nothing much, dog. I'm chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Ready to enjoy this Thursday night football game.
I'm trying to turn this shit off. Hold on.
Oh, you just put on the game?
No, I got the game on, but I'm trying to turn the damn what's it called it off. Hold on.
Yes,
Stop
sir.
sharing. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot, bro. It
What
was
up?
the game that was playing, bro. I thought it was the website that was playing, bro.
No, that's why I asked if you just cut the game.
All right, so let's start it again. Let's start it over, man.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the NFL show, man. Rod, I am your host, B.Herbo. The B is short for B or big. I got my brother from another mother, RodMan, in the building, bro. How you doing, dog?
Man, I'm doing great, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to have another night to watch some football and be here with my dog, man. No?
All right, so it's the first game that we're doing. We're doing live, bro. The game is on right now. The score is 0-3. But if it's your first time rocking with us, what the aim of this show is to be and what we want it to be. This, like I said in the intro, this is formerly the Couch Bros NFL show. It wasn't anything big, bro. So you're not missing anything. Like you didn't. But we rebranded, we evolved, and we are now the Phin Outta sports show, NFL show. And this, if you can see the background, if you can see everything around you, you will see that they're a familiar color scheme, bro. The color scheme of the Miami Dolphins. And that's what the show is going to be a focus on. However, we touch on the entire NFL, right? So we are going to have an emphasis on the Dolphins, but it's not just a Dolphins podcast. So it's going to be inclusive. We want everybody to be a part of this. We want the community to grow. We want this to be the biggest independent amateur YouTube sports show on the platform, and it's on Facebook Live, and we're going to be on Twitch. So it's going to be a live show that we do every Thursday for the entirety of the football season, and then we're going to have a reaction show, which is not going to be a live show, but it's going to be a regular show called just the NFL Phin Outta show, and that should be out on Mondays or Tuesdays or whatever, where we react to the Sunday slate of games as well as Monday Night Football. So if you are an old-time fan of the Couch Bros NFL podcast, you know what you have in store. You have us breaking down the Dolphins, me breaking down the Cowboys. Then we're going to break down the key games, the Sunday night game. And then we're going to have our own special thing that made our old podcast special, which is what's going to make this podcast special as well. Rod, you know what I'm talking about. The thing that's been a part of this podcast since the inception, bro. You're the worst. But we'll get to that, man. But we'll get to that. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have new people who've never watched the show or have no idea who we are. Again, like I said, I'm B.Herbo. The B is short for big. It's my brother from another mother, RodMan. And Rod, I want you to go ahead and explain the name of the show, how you came up with the show, because this is your baby, bro. Like I'm here as the Cowboys fan, making your dream come true, bro. So this is Phin Outta. So explain to them how you came up with the title, bro.
So it's funny that you brought it all the way back. For those of you who are unfamiliar with me and my journey, this all started way back to when I moved to Massachusetts. So I remember I was working at an airline. I don't know if you could say these things on the internet nowadays, but I was working for an airline, and there was a guy there who, ironically, we ended up talking about business, about a year ago when it pertains to this, but he was kind of the first guy to give me the idea, right? Because I used to talk with him about how I love, sports shows and shit like that. And I heard we got to invest in the swear jar. We got to invest in the swear jar, man. Just did it. All right. But I remember I was in Boston, and, this was around 2012, 2013. And, man, I just remember, like, I was watching the Dolphins. And, I'm a Dolphin fan. And Dolphins fans, y'all watching the team around that time, that was the early Tannehill era. So in the early Tannehill era, it came to a point where I just had to vent. So I hopped on Block Talk Radio, which my guy Terrence put me on. And we used to hop on the core phone and we used to dial up. The quality was not great. This is like totally like Herb took this to a whole nother level, right? But back then, we used to hop on the phone and we would just talk like every week, you know what I mean? And back in those times, we used to take it mad serious, man. We used to have fucking sheets and sheets and sheets of paper with statistics and information, and we still do our research, but that's where it begins, man. I was literally a fin out of water. I was in Boston, so that's where it comes from.
And this is very unprofessional, bro. We're live streaming, bro. So I was hoping that you're gonna keep talking so I can eat, but you finished the conversation, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? We're not normally how we are when we're in person, so I can give you the visual cues to keep filibustering, but that's perfectly fine, man. So, but that's why I wanted to get into the heart and why this show is special and why this show could be special, because you were literally a fin out of water, bro. Fin is short for dolphin, and you were in the worst place for a Dolphin fan to be, bro. You were in the heart of Patriot country during the height of the Patriots, bro. Like this was in the middle of the dynasty, bro. So I could only imagine, brother. I could only imagine.
You know what? I will say this, though. I will say this. The New England fan base is an interesting fan base, and I say that because the average New England fan, like when you talk football, I guess because, and I think it just goes to show the difference between when you have a winning culture and when you have a culture of a team that's somewhat mediocre. When you have a winning culture, the fan base is more in tune with the game. So when you talk to the average New England fan, they actually know quite a bit about football. Like there are some Dolphins fans you talk to, and you just think to yourself, like you're just saying stuff, right? Like you like the team, you're a fan. You don't really understand the game like that. But I came across a lot of fans in New England who were very knowledgeable about the game. You know what I mean? And that made for having great football conversation. Of course, on the other end, I'm a Dolphin fan, which means they dug in my ass. They dug in my ass a lot.
I bet they did, bro.
But it was anytime they had any big loss, it was great. Like when you walk in, like I remember the year that the Seahawks played the Broncos in the Super Bowl. I remember, man, the New England fans were sick because in the AFC Championship, the Broncos completely just the Patriots weren't going to win that game. Like they were in control the whole game, and they were just sick. They couldn't wait for Peyton Manning to fall in his face. I was rooting for the Broncos in that Super Bowl. Ironically, the Broncos are playing right now, and that Super Bowl was just an embarrassment, dude.
Absolutely, man. And it's funny because that Bronco team doesn't seem like they're much better than they were when they won that Super Bowl. Like this team, and you know what, man? Let's give some updates to the people that might not, who's watching with the game with us right now. So the game right now is 3-0. The Broncos are up. Matt Ryan is as cooked as cook could be, bro. This team is awful.
That boy is a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, he's baked chicken, bro. He's absolute baked chicken. He was in there. He was in the air fryer on 400 degrees for 2 hours, bro. There's not an ounce of juice. There's no juice left in that man, bro. That thing is done.
Nuked in the microwave, man.
That boy is done, bro. And it's crazy because I just seen these dudes go 3 and out. Like the Broncos are so bad. Like I can't fathom this. Like I didn't think the Colts are going to be dominant, but I thought the Colts are going to be way better than this. You couldn't pay me enough to think the Broncos would be this bad, bro. 4 games into the season, bro. No way.
You know what, Herb? It just goes to show. It's funny, and you actually said this on the previous show. They traded him. No team is just going to trade a guy like Russell Wilson, right? Like you're not going to trade a supposed elite top level quarterback without something, right? And nobody knew Russ better than the Seahawks. Think about this. Let's put it this way. The Seahawks said we'd rather ride with Geno or Drew Lock than ride with Russ. That's what they said. So, when you watch the film, it's not that Nathaniel Hackett's offense is poorly designed or anything like that. Russ just is like if he doesn't have a one-on-one matchup or if his first read is taken away, he just panics and then tries to scramble and then checks it down. He's checked down Charlie, bro. That's who he's been. Like, if it's not something super easy for him, if a guy's not wide open, he's not going to take it. And it's been hurting the Broncos, man. It's been hurting the Broncos a lot. And they paid this guy. I mean, this guy's making big-time money. You know what I mean? And come on, man, it's just
Absolutely. He's making a lot of money. And the crazy part is, like, there's one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen, bro. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Vince McMahon meme that goes around when he was talking about Andre the Giant, where he's just sitting there like really emotional and he's just about to cry. And I shared it in our group chat when he was like, he was special.
Oh yeah.
And they put the caption was Russell Wilson before Sierra, bro. I've been dying because it literally lines up with him falling off a cliff, bro. Like when he got with Sierra, like for real. And I've never seen it. Normally, when a quarterback gets worse, it's because their physical ability declines.
Right.
Russ just fell off a cliff, but he has all the physical ability. He's still mobile. He can still throw it outside of the stadium. He has a arm still. So there's nothing really changed about him physically. I just don't know what happened to him mentally that is causing us to get some of the worst football that I've ever seen him be a part of, bro. Like the Broncos are averaging, they're 30th in the league. They're averaging 16.9 points per game. It's dreadful.
That's disgusting, man.
Rod, I don't want to open no old wounds, but we do have to talk about it, bro. You bet on the Broncos last week, and we're not going to discuss how much you could have made because we don't even want to talk about it. We don't even put that in the air, bro. It's a new week, whatever. But all they had to do was cover 3 points, and they were covering 3 points till a certain point in the game where the Raiders had a long run and broke it over. The Broncos then, on the last 4 drives, had 4 straight punts, bro. 3 of those were 3 and outs.
Disgusting, bro.
No first ballot Hall of Famer quarterback in their prime should be a part of that, bro. So no. I can't make sense of it, dog. But right now, so just give an update, bro. It is 5 minutes in the first quarter. It's still 3-zip. The Colts just dropped the pass. Matt Ice. I don't even know what to call it, bro. I just know I can't call him Matty Ice no more, bro. You don't deserve that nickname,
Frozen
bro.
now, man. He's Matty Frozen.
He did put a throw on the money, bro. And it's just no team is bad just because the quarterback is bad. A bad team is a bad team, right? Verbatim. That means line play is bad, defense is bad, coaching is bad. But if your quarterback is bad, that is the most apparent thing on the field, bro. The 2 things that you know that you could just see it is when you have a bad quarterback and when you have a bad O-line, bro. There's no hiding that. Yes, that is the most visual, stimulating thing that lets you know that this team is effed. When those 2 things,
Matt, where you going with the ball, my friend?
Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows, man. But okay, so we'll just keep checking in with that game periodically or whatever, bro. So, but it's been a couple minutes, man. We got to get to what it really matters, bro. We got to talk some Dolphins, bro. Dolphins, Jets, man. We're gonna start that. That's gonna be the first topic. So let me go ahead and get that up and running, baby. That's gonna be the first topic, my boys. So topic 1, Dolphins, Jets. Let's go ahead and break it down, Rod. The floor is yours, my boy.
So obviously this is a game that, had we had our starting quarterback, I don't think there would be a question. But I want to be, since we're turning over a new leaf, where we're trying to evolve, I want to be fair. I don't want to just give petty analysis, right? Like I'm going to judge the Jets with an objective eye, right? And I will say this about the Jets: I don't think they're going to finish the season as like a playoff team or a good team in general. I don't even think they'll finish over 500. But if they win 7 or 8 games, I won't be surprised. I think they're a better team than we are used to compared to the last few years. Robert Saleh, I think, they've had a couple good drafts in recent years. They've gotten some talent. Now, Zach Wilson was a guy that, I was high on when he was coming out. He hasn't really impressed so far in the league, but he had a nice little fourth quarter last game. And let's face it, he's going up against Teddy Bridgewater, who I'm not trying to down him. If you really look at Teddy and his relief, like when he was with the Saints, for example, they went 5-1 with Teddy. Teddy against the Jets last year with the Broncos actually had a phenomenal game. So, I actually like our chances against the Jets. They don't have a particularly good defense. They got some young players that look good, like Sauce Gardner. But I mean, Tyreek Hill versus Sauce Gardner, come on, who you taking, right? That's a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. And the thing I'm looking forward to in this game, I want to see the thing about the Dolphins this season so far There have been two areas that have been kind of pretty disappointing to me. One being the pass rush. Like if we don't blitz, we don't get any sacks. We don't get pressure like that, and that's really odd because it wasn't as necessary last year. We got a bunch of guys like Melvin Ingram and Ogba and Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins, and like we have a lot of guys that can, you know what I mean. And we don't get a lot of pressure. We don't get a lot of sacks. And the second thing is the running game. And with Tua, the running game wasn't as needed because Mike McDaniel, the head coach, for those of you listening, believes that his quarterback can run his offense however he needs it to. So the running game has been a fart in the wind, but it's cool. Now with Teddy, we need to complement Teddy with a running game. So I'll be interested to see what Mike McDaniel does because when you watch the Dolphins on tape, our offensive line, they've improved pass blocking, but man, them boys don't get any them boys couldn't knock over your grandma, bro. Like they don't get any push in the run game. And that's why the running backs have been kind of struggling because like, bro, they're turning Raheem Mostert into Le'Veon Bell. Like Raheem Mostert is like a one-cut running back. Raheem Mostert has to be patient, looking for holes, and there's nothing. So I'm interested in seeing what Mike McDaniel does, but I gotta tell you, man, that guy's a hell of a play designer, dog, because that guy has easy answers on every play. So for me, even a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, I think Teddy could have a pretty good outing against the Jets.
Honestly, that's probably the thing that I was gonna say, which is by far the best thing when it comes to Mike McDaniels. And it was apparent in the game against the Bengals where y'all lost and the game got away from y'all, but even Teddy Bridgewater had easy throws, bro. Like there's always an answer. Like there's literally always an answer. And I listened to Trent Dilfer or whatever, right? And he normally comes on the Ryan Russillo podcast, and I'm not sure if he has his own podcast, but I try to follow Trent Dilfer wherever he goes, right? I remember watching him play football for the Ravens.
Right.
I remember him going to ESPN, and then I remember him leaving ESPN, and now he's just a freelance commentator of the sport. He's a high school football coach and everything like that. But he's one of those guys I listen to when it comes to sports in this medium because he's not afraid to say certain things, right? And he's always going to give you his real answer. I like listening to people that are honest when they're doing these assessments, right? And one of the things that he said when it comes to a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, in any system quarterback, is that every coach, if your coach can't get you 10 to 15 layups, then you have no business needing him on your team, right? And a lot of these coaches can't do that, right? The crazy part, just like there's not 32 NFL caliber quarterbacks in the world, there's not 32 caliber offensive coordinators / head coaches in the world, bro. We're watching that with Nathaniel Hackett right now, and oh my God, Russ is trying to throw a pick. Jesus Christ, Russ. Jesus.
Oh, you just seen that play?
Yeah, man. Jesus Christ, Russ, what are you doing, bro? But yeah, back to Mike McDaniels, bro. Mike McDaniels doesn't give you 10 to 15 layups. He gives you 30 layups, bro. All you need to do is make like 5 plays, bro. You're good the rest of the game. That's how y'all came back and beat the Ravens. He gave Tua multiple layups, and then Tua had 2 or 3 games where that was not Mike McDaniels. That was Tua, bro. And you need that combination to be a good team and to be a great offense or whatever, right? So that is the one thing that I think I can't give him enough credit at all when it comes to being an immediate impact, bro. Some guys are impact players. Some guys are impact offensive schemers, bro. Mike McDaniels is an impact offensive mind, bro.
No, and to your point, there's this, I often watch Kurt Warner. He has a little series that he puts on YouTube called QB Confidential. And he often has this saying. He says, when you want to have an elite offense, your quarterback needs to be able to do one of 2 things. He either needs to be able to hit some of the layups and give you a decent amount of special, or he needs to be able to hit like 95% of his layups and give you a little bit of special. And I think that's the kind of quarterback Tua is. Tua's never going to give you a lot of special. Like, he's not going to give you that. But if you can set him up to where he just needs to make a play here and there, he got you. And I think it's kind of weird, but we lucked into Mike McDaniel, right? Because look at all the shit the Dolphins were doing. We were originally supposed to keep Flores, right? And then next thing you know, they were in the works to try to get Sean Payton and Tom Brady. So, with all the drama and all the negativity and all the crap that our franchise is always doing, we ended up just having to try to be clean and said, and Mike McDaniel in earnest was interested in coaching with the Dolphins because he had an interest in Tua. So it just goes to show it. Tua ended up with the perfect coach for him because I don't know how successful he would be with anybody else. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
It would. It probably would. I have no idea as well, man. But let me go ahead and pull the game up. I already had it pulled up, but I wanted to give you time to talk. So I wanted to give you, put it back on you. But I got the game up right now, man. So just a couple stats, bro, for the breakdown. 1:00 game. It's at New York, right?
Yeah, it's in New York.
It's in MetLife. It's in New York. It's at MetLife Stadium. So right now, Dolphins 24.5 points a game, 9th in the league. The Jets are 19 points per game, 18th in the league. I can't imagine this, bro. My entire life, the Jets have been mediocre, dog. That is crazy, bro. That's crazy. I am 33 years old, Rodney. I'm 33 years old, and there's so many different franchises that have been bad my entire football watching life, and it's mathematically impossible, but they keep finding a way to do it. They keep finding a way to do it, and it's maddening. And I'm not even a Jets fan, bro. So I could only imagine if you're a Jets fan to watch this repeated horror film called The Life as a Jets Fan, bro. It has to be the worst thing, dog. Like, you think you got another quarterback. You think you got your quarterback for the future in Zach Wilson. And if you were somebody who listened to the podcast when we used to do it, I was big on Zach Wilson's potential.
Me too.
And then I watched him play 3 games in, and I immediately stopped, bro. I think his first game, he threw like 3 picks. He was like 1 for 12. It's just awful, like awful stuff, bro. So to see him be the headache that he is, and he's just a microcosm he is the living, breathing example of a Jets fan, bro. The Jets. Zach Wilson is the Jets, bro. Potential and terrible play, bro. It's just amazing, dog. But back to the game, though, bro. So the funny thing about the Jets is that before, when they had Joe Flacco, bro, they were the fourth. With Joe Flacco, they were the 4th best passing team in the league, bro. Right behind the Dolphins, who were 3rd with 291 yards passing per game, bro. So you guys should be some fireworks, bro. It really should, because there's nobody on the Jets that could stop Tyreek Hill or Jaylen Waddle. And adversely, I don't think the Dolphins, even though they have Xavier Howard, they have Javon Holland.
No.
I don't think they can.
Xavier Howard has not, bro. I was talking him up before the season. I should have kept my mouth shut. My man's been getting burnt, man. He's been getting burnt, man. Like he played at a high level in the Bills game, but outside of the Bills game, X has been kind of shaky this year, man. He's been kind of shaky, man. So
bro, it's one of those things, bro. When you play man long enough, like pure man long enough, it happens. You're gonna have a down year. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I'm even more impressed with somebody like Darrelle Revis, who was pure man, like pure man, not okay, I'm gonna play cover 2 every now and then. No, it was man on man, mano y mano. And he never got burnt. I don't think he had a bad year, like legitimately bad year, until his last year. And even then, he wasn't bad, bro. And he's going to make the Hall of Fame, and he only played in the league for 10 years, bro. So it's hard to be a true man corner, bro. Like, a lot of these corners that we hold up, they're scheme corners, bro. Like, look at J.C. Jackson, bro. J.C. Jackson was a scheme corner that was masquerading as a good corner when he was hidden behind the genius of Bill Belichick. That dude is getting toasted every week in San Diego. God dang it, Los Angeles, bro. I can't, bro.
We grew up with San Diego. They were San Diego.
We grew up with it, bro. So you see these guys going to these different teams, they're getting exposed, bro. Xavier is still a good quarterback, but playing pure man is hard, bro. It's hard, bro. It's hard.
Like
it's hard.
In the Bengals game, they said he had a groin injury, so there's that. And they ended up pulling him from the game. But he misplayed on a pass that first pass that Burrow hit to I think it was Higgins. I think it was either Higgins or Boyd. I think it was Higgins. He hit a bomb to one of the guys, dog, and X just misplayed it. You know what I mean? If he had played it right, he could have batted the ball. But it's all good. I'm not really worried about him. I just thought it was just like I'm so used to not like he's a guy that you only really notice him when he's catching picks or picking up or forcing fumbles, shit like that. You know what I mean? He's not normally someone who I'm just like, damn, he's getting burnt. But it happens. It happens to the best of them. I'm not down on him. You know what I mean? He's our best corner.
It happens to the best of them, man. It happens to the best of them.
For sure.
All right, okay, so let me get your opinion on this as the Dolphins fan, bro. And I'm looking at the stats right now, like the actual breakdown of the stats, bro. The funny thing about it is you guys are very similar, right? Like the Jets are 28th in the league in rushing yards per game. You're 29th, but there's a steep contrast, bro. You guys are 29th with 70 yards per game. They're 28th with 88 yards per game, bro. So the difference between 28th and 29th is not really close, bro. But that's where you guys are, right? Both teams make their bread and butter passing the ball. And that's just the reality of the situation nowadays in the NFL. Either you're a passing team or you're a dominant run team, a la the Lions, a la the Eagles, which is why you can't stop them. And the Titans, right? So total offense, bro. Dolphins are 10th with 361 yards per game. The Jets are 8th with 364 yards per game. And it's crazy. Like, look at this first down. The Jets have more first down to y'all. It's only 2 more. It's 82 to 80. But when you hear that, you don't think that, you don't associate that with the Jets, bro. All of this is going to go in the crapper now that Zach Wilson is back, ironically, bro, which is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But with those kind of stats, bro, tell me what you think is going to happen in the game. Like, what do you envision? And I'm asking this, like, you separate yourself as a Dolphins fan, no biases. What do you think is going to happen in the game?
Oh no, I mean, dude, it's a division game. Listen, even last year, as bad as the Jets were, they gave us a fight when we played them. So whenever it's a division game, oftentimes, especially when it's Dolphins and Jets, like the Jets are like the weird rival in the division that everybody just can't stand. Bills fans, Patriots fans, we all can't stand each other, but we really can't stand the Jets. But the Jets always somehow manage when it comes to the Dolphins. We have crazy games with them. So I was kind of expecting it to be a game that in the beginning would be kind of tight early. I think Teddy. I don't know. I mean, I would expect that Mike McDaniel might have Teddy start off fast, and then our offense might drift off a little bit, and then come second half we get rolling. But I think the Jets are going to be hanging right there with us, dog. Like I don't look at the Jets as like some piss poor complete crap team. Like you just showed all the statistics. In all actuality, we haven't been that different so far this season. So, and I'll say this about the Miami defense. I think our defense plays better than the stats show, but at the end of the day, the numbers bear some kind of the numbers are the numbers, right? Numbers don't lie. So our defense has to play better, but I think Zach is the perfect person to feast on. That boy gonna cough up the ball at least a couple times. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And that's gonna be the difference in the game, is the fact that you'll have a Zach Wilson who'll throw 1 or 2 picks, have a fumble, whereas Teddy might throw a pick or 2, but I mean I expect him to play a relatively clean game. Yo, Herbo, I think you're muted.
I've been muted that whole time, bro. I had some heat too, bro. I had some heat.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I don't hear this nigga.
Nah, I had some heat, Rod. I was giving him smoke too, bro. Dang, dog. But like I was saying, bro, the funny thing about Zach Wilson is Zach Wilson had 4 weeks to prepare, or 3 weeks to prepare. I'm sorry. And he came out the gate and threw 2 picks in his return, bro. Like, he can't be watching film. There's no way my man's watching film, bro. Like,
yeah, they're concerned about Kyler Murray. They need to be concerned about freaking no player Zach Wilson.
And you know what's crazy, bro? Like, and this is a sidebar conversation. This is supposed to be like we're supposed to be live reacting to the Broncos and Colts right now, but the game is so bad that I'm not even paying attention to it. Like,
Dude, I mean, well, that's what happens when you have the 32nd and the 30th ranked offenses face off in prime time. Like, dude, we addressed it when we started the show. Like, listen, these are two dreadful offenses right now. I don't see the Colts getting any better. We have hope that because it's not like the Broncos don't have weapons, dog. Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy are good receivers. If you watch the film, they get open. It's not them. But they're gonna suffer for it. They're gonna suffer for you, Russ.
It's like an NBA, right? So it's like if you have say if you have a high talent, like a high draft pick that's super talented, right? And you know that they're really the reason why things are not going the way they should, a la Karl Anthony Towns, right? Perfect example. Like one of the most talented losers of all time. And I mean that he's literally a loser. He's been a loser his entire NBA career. You can't get rid of him because he's too important, he's too valuable, he's too expensive. So you're gonna blame everybody around him. And Nathaniel, like I said earlier, Nathaniel Hackett deserves all of the blame in the world, but it ain't just him. It's not just him. You can only do so much with somebody who refuses to throw to the middle of the field unless somebody is unbelievably open, bro. Absolutely, dog. But yeah, back to the Dolphins though. What I think my breakdown for the game is I'm gonna just keep betting against Zach Wilson until proven otherwise, bro. It's that simple, dog. I don't even have to go more in depth to that, bro. He got to show me that I could trust him for 4 quarters, bro. Until then, I'm betting against him every time. Go ahead.
When I made that ticket, I bet last week when it came to because I picked the Jets to cover, and my only thought was this was my exact thought, bro, and it happened. I'm like, Mitch Trubisky. This is the game where Mitch Trubisky's so bad they put Kenny in. And the Jets can cover in a game like that. They might not win, but they can cover. And they ended up winning.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my thought process. I'm like, bro, I'll take Zach Wilson over Mitch Trubisky because Zach still has potential. Like, we know who Mitch is. Everybody, like, there is no – his window is past him. He's a backup. But, I figured, you know what, maybe Zach will come in and lo and behold, man, it didn't work out because of the Broncos. That's why I'm rooting for the Colts, man. But they're not. I mean, neither team. Like, this is a game where you just wish they both could lose, right? Like, not even a tie. Like, just a double loss.
Okay, so I'm watching the game, and you know what I'm saying, because I don't really like the 1 o'clock games are so good. By the time the 4 o'clock games come around, like I'm not like all the way in it because I get so much of what I need for the 1 o'clock games, right? The reason why I say that is because the Broncos normally play at 4 o'clock, 4:15. They did have the primetime game, right? But I'm literally watching them right now, and it's starting to make sense why the offense is so bad. And it's compounded by Russ, because the thing about when Russ was doing his thing in Seattle, he had the receivers that were fast enough to insinuate what he loved to do the most, which is throw bombs. Jerry Jeudy is not fast. Cortland Sutton is not fast. Those are possession receivers. You have to throw them open. Russ has the accuracy to do it, but so much of his game is YOLO. And you don't got YOLO receivers, so I'm starting to really see why they're so terrible, because I seen him try to do a YOLO ball just now to Cortland Sutton, and Cortland Sutton, like, he overthrew him by like 15 yards, bro. That's not DK Metcalf, brother. Like, that man don't run no 4-3, brother.
That's not Tyler Lockett, bro.
That's not Tyler Lockett, brother.
That's not that, bro. Nah.
So yeah, I think what happened, I think he got so accustomed to playing that way. You know what I'm saying? Because when he had Doug Baldwin and actual possession receivers, he played like a quarterback. But I think he evolved to just throw bombs, and I don't think he can get it back to playing actual quarterback again, bro. Am I tripping, or does that kind of make sense?
No, I mean, the tape doesn't lie, right? Like, you bring up a good point. In one of the previous games, I think it was against the Niners, maybe it was, he threw a deep post to Cortland Sutton. And ever since that time, he hasn't been able to really hit shit deep. And it's kind of sad because, we remember what Russ used to be. Like, I remember the case for him used to be was like, oh, who's he throwing to? Like, even though Doug Baldwin was actually a really good receiver, he was just underrated. But
Rod, not to cut you off. You said I remember what Russ used to be. Russ is our age, bro. I think Russ is 34. Like he's a year older than us. He's not. This ain't Joe Montana, bro. Like with the Chiefs, like,
bro, he's playing like the way he's playing this year. He's playing like a cooked quarterback. I don't want to say he's cooked because he's young. Like you said, he's 34. Like this is like 34 for a quarterback now is a prime. Like 34 is a prime. It's like your old prime.
yes.
Like you can't, bro. You can't be this. Like for someone to fall off the cliff that much. Think about this, Herb. Just a couple years ago, we were like everybody was saying, "Oh, Russell Wilson has never won an MVP. He had won like the first 5 games. Everybody was going to bat for him, and then he fell off the cliff." And it just seems like it just kind of seems like teams have figured out what he likes to do, and they know how to make him uncomfortable, and he's not willing to evolve. And I think that's become his biggest problem. And he was in Seattle for a long time. He won a Super Bowl there. So when you win a Super Bowl, I think you get cut a lot of slack, despite the fact that he threw the most awful pass in the history of this. I don't care. Name me a pass worse than that one in a Super Bowl.
Whoa, Rod! I just seen a stat. Peyton Manning threw 140 touchdowns with the. Yeah, that makes sense because he threw 55, bro. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. He was only there for like 40. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Do a lot for you in 1 year.
That's crazy. Man threw 140 touchdowns, and mind you, one of those seasons with the Broncos, he only threw 9. That year, his last year, he went 9-17. So he had a 3-year stretch where he threw 131 touchdowns in a 3-year stretch. That is, God, bro. Peyton, like, people are not gonna like Peyton Manning, even though he has all the MVPs, he has all the stats, like he is all time, top 5 quarterback of all time, obviously, right?
Easily.
He's gonna be one of those you had to be there to really appreciate it because it's like the stats don't do it justice with Peyton at all.
No, the stats, bro. Listen, bro. Let me tell y'all a story, man. And for the young people who may come across this is like a bedtime story for y'all. I remember back when, like around the time, like Madden, let's say Madden 10, Madden 11 came out. Peyton Manning, this is how in tune Peyton Manning was with football. That the AI in the video game, when you played superstar mode on defense, and you played against the Colts, because this is when he was on the Colts, he would walk up to the line, the AI, and just start Omaha, and just start switching the play around, calling audibles. That was Peyton in real life. Like whenever people say that there are guys who work the system and guys who are the system, Peyton Manning was the system.
Absolutely.
Was the system.
He made so much people money that it's incredible. Like Dallas Clark on 31 other teams isn't even on the field, bro. And he made that man a Pro Bowler tight end, bro. Like it's crazy. Like bro, some of the names that this man played with, and just and to see the drop off in quality for both the teams that he played for, to see where we are now, bro. The Colts terrible quarterback play right now. Broncos terrible quarterback play right now.
Both of them right now.
Peyton Manning right now is rolling over in his grave, bro, and he's alive watching this game, bro. Because he's like, "What are y'all doing to my teams, bro? Like, what is this?"
They just couldn't pick up the pieces after he left, man. Still trying, both franchises. Well,
okay, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say the Colts had luck, but they treated him so badly he was tired.
Oh. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead with topic number 2, man. So because keeping in honor with the Thursday night game, it is an AFC team against another AFC team, bro. So we thought that for this topic that we wanted to just get a AFC Scouting report, I should say, bro. So topic number 2, AFC Scouting report. Rod, give me your big picture or your 1,000-yard view of the AFC so far, bro.
Well, the AFC is kind of what I think we all thought it would be, right? Like we all thought that this conference would be a battle royale, so to speak. And when you look at the AFC, it's a lot of really, really good teams in the AFC, right? And you look at Kansas City, you look at Buffalo. I still think the Ravens, the Ravens are still a good team, despite the fact their defense is out here giving up double-digit leads at home. I mean, everywhere you look in the AFC, no one has really separated themselves yet, right? Like everybody kind of like, look, there's no undefeated team, right, in the conference. So the way I look at the AFC shaking out, I think the teams last year, the big dogs from last year, I think they're gonna. I don't think anybody's really gonna dethrone them, right? Now the Titans, they're not. I don't see them winning the division. They could. It's not like they're in a hard division, but I think Jacksonville is just a little better than them overall. It all depends on Trevor Lawrence. I'm not ready to crown Trevor Lawrence as the next great quarterback. I'm not ready to do that yet. I just watched that guy lose 4 fumbles in a game, which it seems impossible. I don't even think I've ever heard of a nigga. Damn, I gotta stop. I don't think I ever heard of any dude losing 4 fumbles in the game, right? But I think the way the AFC is gonna play out, I think for the time being, the Buffalo Bills have been dealing with some injuries, but as long as they have Josh Allen, they have Stephon Diggs, they have their key guys, they'll be all right. And I think it's gonna end up being a battle between the Chiefs and the Bills toward the end of the season. But here's a caveat, man. I do think, and this is the Phin Outta Water podcast. I think the Dolphins are going to be in this party this year, man. I didn't have us winning the division to start the year. I had us making the playoffs, but we already got a home win against the Bills. So I think when Tua gets back, we're going to make this thing here interesting. You know what I'm saying? But for now, I think the top dogs are still the top dogs. The Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll save this for the next segment. But
Okay.
you go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was going to ask you. So I know Tua's out this game for sure, week 5. Well, how long is he supposed to be out? Not to, because we're going to keep it short because we talked enough on the Dolphins. We're going to make sure we talk about the other teams. But how long is he supposed to be out? Are you sure? You do. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. All the reports, because I've been keeping up with it. They have not given a definite timeline. This is my theory on what's going to happen. I believe that they're going to roll with Teddy as long as he looks all right. Right? Like, I think they'll probably keep Tua out maybe a couple more games. And it's not because he can't go, because, he's been clearing all the protocols. So technically, he could probably play this Sunday, but because of all that media outrage and all that stuff, and we covered that already, he probably won't play. But I think if Teddy loses to the Jets, he'll be back against the Vikings. I'll put it like that. That's
okay. All right. Cool beans, man. Okay, so for me, my AFC scouting report, man, is I'd give it a C minus, because going into it, I thought the AFC was going to be far more dominant than it actually is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we saw the Bills dominate for 2 weeks, and then they came all back. They came crashing back down, bro. The Ravens have a historically bad secondary, bro. This is hilarious to watch them give up lead after lead after lead. The Chiefs are susceptible. Like, yes, they've been dominant. Yes, the Chiefs are that team. Like, the Chiefs are like the Warriors, literally like the Warriors, right? Where they rise for the occasion for the best teams, and then they'll lose to a bad team, bro. You're just like, what are y'all doing, bro? But in basketball, you could do that, because in a series, you have 4 games to win. Football, you can't do that. You can't have a bad game in the playoffs. You're done.
Right.
The Titans, I knew the Titans were going to be bad, bro. They've exceeded my expectations, and I think they're 2-2, bro. They might be the worst 2-2 team I've ever seen, bro. Like, they're up there for sure.
Yeah, they were the Broncos, man.
And shout out to Matty Ice, man. Just threw a pick, man. Good God, this is some bad football going on Thursday, man. We chose the perfect game to live stream, bro, because I don't have no focus on this game whatsoever, man. But yeah, so yeah, and the Chargers, bro. The Chargers are just the same old Chargers. So the Chiefs being really, really good, and the top is not nearly as dominant as I thought it was going to be, and the bottom is the bottom, which is the teams, and you have your surprises like the Jaguars, stuff like that. But overall, I give it a C minus, man. That's my scouting report for the AFC as a whole, and I am interested to see where these teams go, because now that we've seen these teams for 4 weeks, I'm confident in. There's a lot of parity, bro. There is no one super team in the NFL. The closest thing to it would be the Chiefs, but they lost to the worst team in the league. The Chiefs lost to a team that has 0 points right now, bro, against the Broncos, right? Like I have to dock them for that, bro. I have to, dog.
Listen, the Colts might not score a point tonight, and they've already been goose egged once. All right. They already got one goose egg. It would not because I think the Broncos defense is as good, if not better, than the Jags. So, and they got blanked by the Jags, dude.
Blanked by the Jags, man. Blanked by the
So,
Jags, bro. So, all right, man. So with that, we are 55 minutes in. So what we're gonna do? Me and Rod are gonna take a little quick break. Maybe when we come back, we might have a couple guests. Foreshadowing a little bit. Foreshadowing a little bit. You never know. Maybe. So take a little quick break, man. We'll get back to you on the stream. Let's go. All right, welcome back.
Back
Break was a little
again.
the break was a little longer than I expected it to be, man. But we had to get recharged and ready to go, man. So I had to get my cup. You know what I'm saying, Rob? What you drinking on, my good friend, my good sir?
I am drinking on a Foster's on sale at
That
Publix, man. 2 for
that
$4.
is, I haven't even seen a Foster's cup in so long, bro. That's throwback. That is definitely throwback, bro.
Bro,
That's
you know
some
what's funny?
throwback stuff.
You want to know who put me on Foster's? My boy Oro, man. This old Jamaican guy used
I
to work
know.
at Publix.
I know you
Oh,
and
yeah, you remember
yeah,
Oro.
yeah. It was he put you on it and then you put me on it, bro. And, and I remember I went on a Foster's binge, bro, for like a month, and I was just knocking Foster's back, bro. But there's something distinctively like your life ain't where it needs to be about that can, bro. The way it looks, the way it feels in your hand, bro. Like there's something distinctive about that Foster's can, bro. Like you know how there's some beers that just look high class, and then there's beers like Still Reserve or Hurricane or not saying that's Foster's. Foster's is not Still Reserve or Hurricane, obviously.
Oh, definitely.
But
No,
there's
no, no,
some
no.
that you just know, like, okay, that's a hood beer. Foster is definitely a hood beer. Old
Dude,
English, hood beer.
I know a
Bud
dude who
Heavy,
still
hood
reserve
beer.
ate his stomach, man. So
You know a dude, what?
still reserve ate that nigga's stomach, bro.
It ate that Negro stomach, Rod. Swear jar, Rod. Rod, you finna owe a lot of money, bro. You finna owe a lot of money, bro. Like, you gonna owe a
You know,
lot of money.
it just goes to show like how that stuff becomes so ingrained in you. You get so used to being so. I'm gonna definitely put my best foot forward going forward, man. I'm so used to saying the N word, man. I got to stop, man. I didn't realize it.
You know what's crazy? I had a hard time on the pod, but then I just snapped into my customer service call center mind where I can't do that or whatever. So it's like a switch.
You know what? Maybe that's how I need to look at it, man. That's actually a
Yeah, it's
great
a
way to look
switch,
at
bro. You
it.
just have to. It's like a switch, dog, or whatever. Okay, so just to update, Broncos and Colts. I believe the score is 6-0. I think. Yeah, there's a minute left. They're about to go to halftime. Bad game
Like quite
overall,
a
man.
high scoring game going on here.
Yeah, it's actually absolutely terrible, man. Some bad stuff, man. So hopefully we have one of our friends coming in as a guest. We'll see. But in the meantime, bro, let's go ahead and get the show back rolling, bro. So third topic for today. I wanted to piggyback off the AFC Scouting report or whatever. And I wanted to address the whole league as a whole, right? So we're a quarter way. We've played enough games. We've had 4 games for every team so far, and I just wanted to go ahead and see what your biggest, or I want to say, let me rephrase it. I wanted to ask you what your biggest surprises and your big disappointments have been so far at this quarter way of the season, Rod. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I would probably say so far the biggest surprise to me, and this is kind of piggybacking off of what we've already spoken about the Broncos. The AFC West was like the division that everybody thought like, oh man, this is gonna be such a tough, hard division. But I mean, outside of the Chiefs, has anyone really impressed you? I mean,
Nope.
the Broncos have been. I didn't put them as a disappointment because it's early, right? Like disappointments for me are things that I'm pretty sure are not gonna be looking good going forward. But as a surprise, I thought the division would be tougher. With the Chargers, this is the thing about the Chargers, and it's like the Dolphins are one thing. Like we had our great quarterback, and then we never got another guy again. The Chargers have had Dan Fouts. They've had Philip Rivers, who no matter what you want to say about him, borderline Hall of Famer, perennial top 10 quarterback when he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have Justin Herbert, who was for sure top 5, top 6, dog. And they're still going through the same Chargers things. Like what and it's injuries, it's this, is that, the guys playing with hurt ribs. Like the Chargers are a franchise that no matter who's playing for them, it just never changes.
Never
It's just
changes.
weird.
It's crazy. Let me tell you about my experience with the Chargers, and then I'll give you my biggest disappointment. But matter of fact, you know what? I'll save it. I'll save it when it's my turn. Who've been your biggest surprises? Let me get that first before I go.
Okay.
In a positive sense.
The biggest surprises. Ooh, excuse me. The biggest surprises besides my own team, because I mean I expected the Dolphins to be good, but prior to the season, if I would have told you we would have been 3-1 to start the season, I'd tell you that I'm ecstatic because I had us around 2-2. The Ravens and Bills games were games I didn't have us winning before the year, and lo and behold. But outside of the Dolphins, and this might be kind of a cliche one to go with, but I'm gonna go with the Jags, dog. The Jags have been a nice story so far this season because they are a team that's always made fun of, much maligned, and they have a lot. It's not just Trevor Lawrence, right? Like the media is always going to try to make it about Trevor Lawrence. They have a proven coach in Doug Peterson. They have what is actually one of the better defenses in football. They went up against a buzzsaw on Philly. No one is going to have a lot of answers for Philly's offense because they can run it, and Jalen Hurts is actually throwing the ball pretty well. So there's that. And they actually fought. And you got to think about it like this. It was a 7-point game, and Trevor Lawrence fumbled 4 times. Lost them. So it just goes.
And he threw a pick. And he threw a pick.
So he had 5 turnovers in that game, and it was still a 1-score game. Mm-hmm. So I think the Jaguars definitely have been a nice surprise. I think the other team that has been a nice surprise, and I say they've been a nice surprise, but they're doing the same old things, the Lions. Like, the Lions are one of the funnest teams in football to watch. Like if you watch a Lions game, you know you're going to get a high score, and they're averaging 35 points a game.
Which is crazy.
Which is insane. But their defense is giving up like 36 points a game. So it's like the Lions are the rare team that's on opposite sides of the spectrum. They have the highest scoring offense and the worst defense. Yeah, put it like this, dog. I've never seen a Geno Smith-led offense look as good as they did against the Lions defense.
Like, okay, so let me get in, because to be honest with you, bro, it is gonna sound crazy. I think they're doing it on purpose. I think it's all a part of the plan, Rod. It's all a part of the plan. It's all a part of the plan, my boy. It's all a part of the plan, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I say this, and okay, obviously I don't think, because players are not here to lose, right? What I think every Lion fan should take away from this season, and from what I've understand, because I pay attention to Lions forums and stuff like that, which is crazy. I never thought I'd say that in my life, but that's just how good the offense, and that's how good the running game and just the offensive system is in general, right?
And they're coached by Man Campbell,
which is crazy, Campbell. Right? Listen, matter of fact, we could have a actual discussion about the Lions, bro. It's a Thursday night stream. This is long form, so I'm gonna get into the Lions right now, and then I'll get into my disappointments and my surprises, bro. But back to the Lions. This is the best thing for the Lions if you're a Lion fan, because what is better than losing, but losing in a fun way every time? The Lions are not going to win the Super Bowl. If you're not going to win the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter what your record is. Just give me an entertaining product. If I'm a Lions fan, I want to lose like this every single game. Now, granted, the players, you do feel for the players, because the players ultimately put their heart on the line, and eventually you're just like, bro, we keep playing. For what? Like, there's going to be a breaking point, because this goes back to last year, where I think they had like 7 games where they lost by single digits or something like that, bro. So this is the MO. But it doesn't matter. Like, if you're losing by throwing and you're scoring 35 points a game, that means your team is ready-made to become a Super Bowl contender the minute you get a quality quarterback. Like, go get a quarterback in this next year draft. Lose. Go 2-14. Go 2-15, or 3-14, or 4-13. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you're still putting up these points. They're scoring 35 points a game with Jared Goff.
And it's funny, and bro, I love that you brought up Goff, because if you watch the tape on the Lions offense, they're leaving meat on the bones.
So much meat on the bones.
Like,
that's the crazy part.
Points a game, and Jared Goff is not even operating the offense as efficiently as it could be ran.
That's the craziest part,
dude.
That's the craziest part. I can't even fathom that Man Campbell is in charge of one of the most dominant offenses that we've ever seen, bro. They literally set a record for scoring a touchdown in consecutive quarters. They scored a touchdown in 19 straight quarters, bro.
Ridiculous, bro.
Think about this. The Kansas City Patrick Mahomes Chiefs didn't do that. Peyton Manning with the Colts or the Broncos didn't do that. John Elway didn't do that. New England didn't do that. The Detroit Lions did that. That's insane. That's insane. And they're leaving plays on the field. Like, so if I'm a Lions fan, bro, I'm happy. And I think the Lions fans love it. Like, if you ever watch the Lions Homes games, bro, those people are drunk. It's a party out there, bro. Like, they're getting the show, bro. Like, your team is scoring 35 points. You're getting unlimited offense. Jared Goff is bad and it doesn't matter because your team, your offensive system is that good. So yeah, bro. So that's definitely one of my surprises. My other surprise is the Jags, but you talked about the Jags, so I'm not going to dwell into that too much. But for me, my biggest surprise is the NFC East as a whole, bro. Other than the Washington Commanders, of course, that team is terrible. But think about it: the Eagles are 4-0, which makes me want to vomit. The Giants are 3-1, which is unfathomable. And my Cowboys, spoiler alert, I am a Cowboys fan. I'm not a Dolphins fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. They're 3-1. And what are the odds where we decided to go fully in on the Dolphins for this podcast and my Cowboys want to have a feisty team, the team that I love, like the team that made me, like the type of Cowboys team that made me a Cowboys fan, bro. Of course they would, bro, just to spite me, dog.
You know what I like about the Cowboys, dog? I feel like between the talent you have on defense and maybe Dan Quinn's resolve to kind of prove that his stint in Seattle wasn't a one-time thing, like he got y'all boys, like, because the thing about the Cowboys is you guys have reached the level to where you're a pick your poison defense. Okay, if you wanna try to block everybody evenly, Parsons is gonna eat you alive. If you're gonna double Parsons, the other guys are gonna eat. So now teams every week have to make their choices as to who they're gonna let kill them. And
you know what? And you know what? And this is something that we got to go ahead and give Trayvon Diggs his respect too, because he heard everybody say that he was overrated, even though he had 11 picks last year, and he was like, "Okay, all right, bet I'm gonna play." Instead of me trying to get picks, which he was playing the bait game, which is I'm going to try to make you throw my way. I'm going to play quality quarterback. I'm going to be actually sticky, and I'm still getting turnovers, bro. So what y'all saying now?
Dude,
what are y'all saying now?
He was a part of the Pro Football Focus 90 Club this past week. 91 rating. Maybe no, it might have been more. He might have been a 93. He had like an incredibly high rating.
Bro, so now he's doing – it's a small sample size, obviously. It's only 4 games. But now he's doing it to where he's like, I'm going to be sticky in coverage, and I'm still getting the same production, bro. So what are y'all going to say? He heard everybody. He was like, all right, bet, because that lets me know that he was playing a certain way where he prioritized turnovers more than giving up yards. And it's the NFL. Like, in this day and age, bro, it doesn't matter if you give up yards. Like, I let myself – become a part of that naysayers was like, okay, yes, he had 11 picks, but he had 1,100 yards allowed, bro. That's ridiculous, which it is. That is ridiculous. Right. But at the same time, if you're seeing it through his prism, he's like, who cares if you're getting yards if you're not scoring touchdowns, if you're ultimately giving up field goals at the end of the day. And now he's just saying, you know what? I'm going to play traditional man corner. I'm going to stick to my man. And if the picks come my way, the picks come my way. Carson Wentz would be the only person in the league, in the entire world, that would throw that pass to him, bro. They got picked off. He's the only person that would do that, bro. And there's a reason why Carson Wentz is on his third team in 3 years, bro, because of plays like that.
But you know what? The thing about Washington is, though, even though Wentz has been being Wentz, it's, man, like, I don't know how many quarterbacks would be successful with the Commanders, man. Like, their defense, like, bro, it doesn't matter who the receiver. Every receiver has a career day against these guys, bro. Every receiver has a career day. Devontae Smith had like 60 yards or 100.
Yeah, something like it was like 163 or something, which is crazy.
Like, dude, like the Washington defense is poor. Their offensive line can't block. Like, they're just a bad team, and then Carson Wentz just doesn't really help. Actually, to be honest, he's been one of the better players, and he's still doing Carson Wentz things. And he's not the problem. He's not the biggest problem anyway.
He's not the biggest problem, but he is the biggest problem, bro, because he will kill you. He will break your back. He has back breaking plays, bro, where it's like he throws the pick in the heat of the momentum. Like your team just got the defense off the field. They're driving, they're making plays, and then he throws a pick. So it was all for naught, bro. He's the worst kind of pick thrower, bro.
Yeah.
Like he has those back breaking interceptions, fumbles, ridiculous plays. Like Zach, for as much crap as I give Zach Wilson will throw a pick in the first game, right? Like he doesn't even let you get invested into what's happening because he'll just kill you off rip. Carson Wentz lets you believe. Carson Wentz makes you feel like you have a chance, and then he just throws it all away, bro. Like that's the thing about Carson Wentz, bro. So yeah. My biggest disappointments, though, to get back to the topic at hand, my biggest disappointments, I would say the Chargers, man. Even though the Chargers are 2-2, I just thought they were going to be a lot better. I thought they were going to be dominant. I thought they were going to be that team where it's like, okay, you know how there's that team that's on the rise, and then they just figure it out and they put it all together, and they just have that year where they're the best team in the world. Like there's nobody to effing with them.
Right.
They just were the Chargers. They've been the same old Chargers, and I've seen this story with the Chargers for 20 freaking years, man. Like it's impossible.
And it's weird because it's like their quarterbacks always play well. And you can never point at the quarterback, but like what is it? like what is it? Dude?
Bro,
like,
there's somebody who decided that he was just gonna put okay, I know what it was, bro. When the Chargers were in LA originally, right?
Yeah.
I think there was a guy who was in LA and he went to a shaman who was like, okay, they left. Then I don't want them to ever be good. I want them to always F it up. And they put voodoo on the Chargers, bro. They are truly snake bitten, bro. The Chargers are snake bitten, bro. Other disappointments, though. I can't really think. Like, I expected the Patriots to be terrible, and they've exceeded my expectations, but they're not a disappointment. Because
know what? You know who I would throw in, Herb? I'll probably throw in, even though they're 2-2, I'll probably throw in the Bengals too.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I seen it coming because if you really paid attention to the Bengals last year, there was no way that was repeatable, right? And I said that they had to win that Super Bowl because that was not one of those, okay, you lost the Super Bowl, but you're going to have a chance to come back. History already was against them. The losing team in the Super Bowl normally doesn't even make the playoffs more times than not, right? So that was already going against them. But you can't sustain a level of play of YOLO ball, bro. That's not feasible, bro. Like the NFL, like for real, bro. Like the NFL is too good, bro. I know we give NFL coaches a lot of crap, right? But defensive coordinators, as opposed to offensive coordinators and offensive-minded head coaches, defensive-minded head coaches are truly like the best in the world at what they do. Like they're literally the best in the world at what they do. Aside from Aaron Glenn, who's the defensive coordinator of the Lions, he doesn't count. Everybody else, yeah, they're the best in the world at what they do. Like, for real. And you're not just gonna keep throwing YOLO balls and like, no, bro. Like they literally said, all right, Zach, we know that you're not doing anything. Now we're gonna make you have to go to the drawing board. And we all know Zach Taylor doesn't know what he's doing out there, bro. Like we know this, bro.
Dude, Zach Taylor, man, he's bro. I remember him when he was with the Dolphins, man. He's a nepotism hire. That's right, Bengals fans. Bengals fans, I'm hating on you, coach. Y'all would be so much better with a better coach, man.
Like that's all they need. All they need is a better coach. Like Zach Taylor. Yeah. Zach Taylor got lucky that he had a potentially generational quarterback fall into his lap. Zach Taylor is very lucky that he had a potential generational wide receiver fall into his lap. He's not a good coach. He's not a good schemer. Like, how many times do you see him run like he runs Joe Mixon into a sea of walls? Like, there's no creativity, bro. They literally won games by just throwing deep balls because nobody respected Jamar Chase, so they let him be one-on-one, and he killed everybody. So now they're just saying, all right, bet. This is all they're doing. This is all every NFL team is doing to the Bengals right now. They're just playing cover 2, bro. That's basic Madden, bro. 1-on-1, bro. Like cover 2, bro. And Zach Taylor can't figure it out, bro. Like,
it's funny how like the NFL has like its eras for defense, right? Like when the Seahawks were in their prime, everybody started trying to run what they were running. The single high safety, a lot of cover 3. Now, teams are starting to run the cover 2 because we have amazing quarterback play with some awesome. Like when you think about it, the best players on the field are normally a quarterback and receiver, man. Like this is the era of these guys. So now teams have gone back to cover 2 because they're not trying to get beat deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the number one thing you don't want is for somebody to get behind the entire defense. So it's interesting, man. It's going to be interesting to see how, excuse me. It's going to be interesting to see how these modern offenses kind of scheme to counter that.
Yeah, for sure. And they'll figure it out because the NFL game is cyclical. Like going back to the Lions, like I read an article where they were saying, like, listen, the Lions and the Eagles are dominating right now, which is a precursor to what I mentioned earlier, where because they're doing something that's just old school, bro. They're just playing power run game, bro. Power football, bro. Because the teams have adjusted to play cover 2. How do you defeat cover 2? By having an incredible running game, bro, because now you don't have 8 men in the box. So it's just going to be cyclical. It's always going to come back in a circle. So it's who adapts at the right time. And that's going to be the best team in the league if you don't have a dominant quarterback that you could just say, hey, go put up 30 points by yourself. Go get 30. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So last topic for the day, our NFL quarterly awards. Let me go ahead and let me set the tone, right? And then I'll let you think about it because I don't think I told you this in the pre-meeting. So
I'm with it.
While you're thinking, let me think. Let me go ahead and get my quarterly award. So quarterly award for Offensive Player of the Year so far through 4 games. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I am a Cowboys fan. I am an NFC East person. I hate the Giants. It's the team I hate the most in the world. Like, there's no team I hate in the world like I hate the Giants. However, I got to show love to Saquon Barkley, man. Like, I didn't think he had it in him. I thought that dude was cooked. I thought he was baked chicken, bro. But he's showing you why he went number 2 in the 2018 draft, the draft that featured Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold. Like, that's 2018. And number 2, where a lot of people thought that Sam Darnold should have won in that spot, and he was drafted to the Giants, and you're seeing what he brings to the table, bro. So that's my offensive player of the year through 4 games. My defensive player of the year through 4 games, and this is not a homer pick, man, but Micah Parsons. Like, that dude is a force to be reckoned with. You can't stop him. You can't block him. It's incredible. And my coach of the year through 4 games, obviously, bro, Doug Peterson. It's not even close. Doug Peterson is making people think that Trevor Lawrence is better than he is, bro. Like, that's incredible stuff. Like, he's so good right now that he's getting none of the credit for what he did with Jacksonville, man. So that's my awards, bro. How about you, Rod?
All right. So for my offensive player, even though he didn't have the best game last game, I'm going to give it to Lamar. Prior to going up against a Bills defense that's going to really make a lot of quarterbacks look mediocre, he's been freaking killing everybody. He is looking at like he's in MVP form. We'll see how he's going to look moving forward. They play the Bengals, who actually have a pretty decent defense. The defense is pretty solid. But I'll give it to Lamar for
sure.
Mm-hmm. For defensive player, when I think about defensive guys that I've paid attention to this year, I'm probably gonna have to agree with you, bro. Micah Parsons, like, I don't know. People thought he was gonna be good, but we didn't know he was gonna be like this. Like, he has become the guy that offensive coordinators are scratching their heads on how to deal with him because he brings so much to the table. He's on that level to where it's almost kind of like Aaron Donald-ish, to where it's just like there's no answer for this man. Like, he's the next great defender. As Aaron Donald is reaching, the latter years of his career, Micah Parsons, I think, is gonna be the one to step in that spot, and he's been incredible. And then for coach of the year, I'm giving it to my boy Mike McD.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
Listen, Von Shula, I'm with you, boy. Screw all the media people telling you to get fired. Listen, If the medical consultant tells the coach he can get in the game, the coach is gonna put him in the game.
Absolutely, bro.
That's the way it
Absolutely.
is. Don't be mad at Mike McD. All right, and we're gonna see more of that nice. Listen, man, it doesn't matter who. Any guy who breaks down his film will always tell you. They always open it. They always preface it with, "Man, if you listen, I love good play design. Oh, I love great offensive scheming. Whenever a guy says that about your coach, feel good, Dolphins fan. We'll be all right, even with Teddy."
Absolutely, man. All right, man. And that's gonna be it, man. That was a great show, bro. Any last thing before we go ahead and close the show and close this live stream?
I wish we could have had a more exciting game. Hopefully next Thursday. Hold on. Let me see which game is next Thursday's game, man.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Hopefully next Thursday's game will be a little more enticing. But hey, man, I'm happy to finally knock out this live with you, man. You know, we were supposed to do this last Thursday. We had some technical difficulties. I'm actually, in hindsight, you know, things happen for a reason, man. I'm glad we didn't record
bro.
Last day, because y'all would have seen me. Y'all would have seen a grown man cry. Y'all would have seen a grown man on here like, no, not too.
I mean, as messed up as it is, though, that would have been great for the algorithm, bro, because we would have went viral if people seen you like when that happened, bro. Because it would have been it would have been a monumental sight, bro. Like, no lie, dog. Like, for real, bro. Like, for real, dog.
Bro, my boy.
So, all right, man. So go ahead.
No, I wanted to see who the Thursday night game for next week was. Like, maybe we have a better chance for the Thursday night. Oh man, the Thursday night game is the Commanders and Bears.
No, we ain't live streaming, my boy. Man, we ain't gotta do that. We ain't gotta do that to the public, man.
Woo, boy.
We ain't got to do that to the public, man. They deserve better than that, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, but yeah, yo. Long story short, man, we'll see y'all next week, man. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, bro. You see down there on our overlay, bro. You see our social. You see our Facebook. You see our YouTube. You see our Instagram, bro. So
yes,
please subscribe. Please follow. If you enjoyed this live stream, we will be doing this for the rest of the week. It was a pleasure to be a part of the algorithm, a part of the ethos, and we're just two people who love football, man, and we just wanted to give off that energy, that enthusiasm, and that charisma to the world at large, bro. So thank you for tuning in. We will see y'all next week, man. RodMan and B.Herbo checking out.
B.Herbo RodMan, deuces.